The last time I saw you on screen was a princess. This is a lot different here. Oh my goodness.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew.
From princess to pop star, you are mesmerizing. You are beautifully frightful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Skye Riley.
I keep seeing this face everywhere.
There are so many words to describe the ride that I went on screening this, but congratulations. Seeing this project come to life, how are you feeling?
I'm really feeling very grateful because, you know, getting to promote something that you are just so proud of, that you put so much of yourself into, and like the cast and crew and Parker, we all genuinely put our blood, sweat and tears, and I think it's the only movie that I can say that both literally and metaphorically. And so I feel really, I feel really blessed, to be honest. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Did you always know that you wanted to dive into the world of horror?
No, this was really, it's really a filmmaker thing. I was a fan of Parker. I'd watched the short film that he did in 2020 called Laura Hasn't Slept. So then when the movie came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see this in the cinema. And so I've just been a fan of his. And so when we met, I didn't know much about what he was planning for the second movie. And he began to talk about Skye Riley, this character, and I was just like, wait a second, so she's a musician and all that. And I kind of was like, wait, this sounds so exciting, this character. And then when I read the script, I felt like it really delivered on that promise. And we were supposed to have like a 30-minute conversation, and it was literally 2.5 hours. So it was just like we were already collaborating in a way from that first moment that we met. Yeah.
I feel like in another life you were a pop star.
I mean, or maybe this one, maybe babes, maybe one day. No, I'm joking.
Yes, there's still time.
There's
Well, that's
still
what Parker and I were just talking about. Like, you have that it factor, and there's nothing that you can't do. You sing, you dance, you act, you do it all.
Skye, well, that's Skye. Skye, that's very much like her. But it was fun, but also it very much is Skye's voice, Skye's sound, you know, and we crafted that and we were purposeful about that. And I really lent into that. It doesn't sound like me. I mean, it's funny because my producer, who I produced my music project with, when I played him the songs, he did not think it was me. And that's kind of what I wanted,
right?
Because it really doesn't sound like me in a way in terms of who I am as an artist. So that was fun,
right?
Because
How did you craft it then? Like, what was the mindset getting into differentiating?
Well, first of all, most of the credit I have to give to Ida Rose, who is a writer-producer who wrote 4 of the songs and produced 4 of the songs. And she had already written and produced New Brain and Blood and White Satin when I was cast. And her voice was on the demo. So she was the blueprint for me. And so we crafted that together, and I lent into what she had already started to create. And then we got to co-write 2 songs together for the movie, one of which was the end credit song Death of Me, which we wrote after the movie was made. So it was so fun because we got to just like, you know, it's like all the hard work's done, everything's done, and we can just like have fun, and we know who Skye is, we've solidified her sound. So that it was very much using her and using that as my way in.
Okay. What pop stars did you emulate Skye after? It's giving Gaga, Britney, it's giving everybody all in one character.
Well, I think you've kind of answered it in a way, in the sense that there really wasn't one particular person. I think that of course there are references in terms of like the costume and the things that you can see that, right? And yes, there is some of that early Gaga and I guess early 2010s thing going on for sure, but I didn't focus in on someone, and I think maybe I think that was probably a conscious thing to not want to be too derivative, but also just allowing it to be kind of organic in a way, and it to be Skye's thing, and trusting the fact that subconsciously all of those performers that I've witnessed over the years would somehow
Come out.
there,
Right.
maybe, I don't know.
I love that the choreography was all you too.
Our amazing choreographer Celia, she was incredible, but yes, it's me doing the dance for sure.
Does that
Yes.
come easy to you?
That part's fun for me. I didn't have a lot of time, but that's cool. You just roll with it. I don't know. I'm just a bit more like, sometimes me diving headfirst into something is better. I don't have to get time to overthink it, which I don't know if that like resonates with you in any way, but I had like 2 dance rehearsals for it.
That's it. Oh my god.
But I really, she's amazing. The dancers were incredible, and yeah, I that's a thing that I enjoy for sure. Right. So that part was like fun for me. It was almost like a treat because I'm like singing, I'm like crying and screaming, and then I'm like, oh, at least I get to dance for like 10
dance it
hours,
out.
even
And
though
honestly,
that's like its own challenge.
It's like a form of therapy too, with such heavy material that you're working
Right.
with. Like I imagine those moments of reprieve for you, like a little bit of fun.
A little bit, for sure. I mean, like the Blood and White Satin's was quite tricky because it was such a big stage. So there was, that had its like elements of when you learn something and then you get in situ and things have to shift and you realize, oh, we have to like be bigger and like move further across the stage and things kind of shift, and that's just part of the creative process. But no, yeah, I did enjoy it.
What do you want fans to take away when they see this? Because of course, aside from the fright of it all, there really is that metaphor in this franchise of the passing down of trauma. And we all can relate to it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So what do you want fans to take away?
Well, I think I'm a big believer in I want people to have a lot of fun, obviously, with this movie. And it is what it is in terms of everyone experiences things differently and will experience different things. I think you mentioned something interesting, which is this idea of masking, which I think is a theme in the movie. And what's interesting about Skye is she's going through some things that I think people can relate to, but it's just a very unrelatable context. And I think it's quite lonely for her because she doesn't feel seen, even though she's very perceived. And of course you're watching her not feeling as though she can fully open up to people. So I guess, there's always that, babes.
There's a part
whatever
of
it brings out,
Right.
yeah, for sure.